Shalom, shalom, brothers and sisters, and welcome to another debate talk for you segment. This one is going to be something new we're trying out a new show, and it's going to be called or labeled the Boardroom, and it's basically going to be open panel where we all just discuss different topics, various topics. Today we're supposed to have our brother. I'm supposed to be co-hosting with Israel Doctrine or Carl Albert. But the brother's not here yet, so I'm going to just talk a little bit while until he shows, and if he doesn't, then it's probably going to be a short show. But basically, what today's show is, and the one that he brought to me was it's going to be called Backsliding, and it's the biblical, um, biblically speaking, we're going to be discussing what backsliding is, pretty much how to keep yourself from backsliding and also staying strong in the faith. So we're going to give his brother a couple minutes to get in here. If not, then I'll just, I'll go into what I have. And then, anybody in the audience who'd like to come up and, be a part of the show, you guys are all welcome. I think I put the link in the chat. So if you guys want to come on up, that's fine. Let me just go ahead and check. The link is in there. Yes. Let me put it in there again, just in case. So anybody who wants to come up, can definitely come up. But before we get started, I'd like to say Shabbat Shalom to everybody who keeps the Sabbath. Let's see here. Shabbat Shalom to everybody who keeps the Sabbath. And and I hope you guys are out there having a good day. I know out here in Texas, man, it's kind of hot. Yesterday it was 104 before it started raining and thundering a little bit later on in the day. But the AC kind of keeps us cool. So yeah, so we're just waiting on the brother Israel Doctrine to get in here. The topic's going to be backsliding. Like I said, you are all welcome to come up, click that link, and join in on the topic. Okay, so since he's not here, let me go ahead and first give praises to Yah, for allowing us to be here. And then I'm just going to go ahead and start with the little notes that I have here. Okay, so let's see. Let's close that one out. Okay, so backsliding. What actually is backsliding? So let's go ahead and define what this word backsliding is. Okay, so let me see here. Let's see here. Let's take a look at what backsliding is. Okay, so in the text, if we define it in English, the English word, and I'm taking this from the Merriam-Webster definition. So in the English, it reads, an act of refusing to continue or continue to follow, obey, or recognize a religious faith. Number two is abandonment of a previous loyalty. So just basically judging off the definition, what we have here is we see that backsliding is pretty much apostasy. So, for instance, you have people who, you have people who start off one way and then they turn around and end up another way, right? Which is kind of unfortunate, because if you have the truth and then you go in and you start going into a lie, then that's really an unfortunate situation here, right? So let's go ahead and look at some of these. Let's go ahead and look at some of these things that causes us to backslide, right? I know in the Bible it says evil communications corrupt good manners. What exactly does that mean? Well, we can see in our real time, we have images that are on TV that corrupt our good manners. You might be raised a certain way, raised with some good morals or whatever, but then you see these images. What do we have? We have images that tear us down in a certain way, as pertaining to what they show us. Maybe drug dealing on TV. It glorifies the drug dealer. It glorifies the criminals. It glorifies oppression. It glorifies a lot of things, right? Also, another thing that exacerbates the thought of apostasy is what we hear on the radio, right? And we hear, what do we hear? We have all this music that I mean, the music on there is just terrible, man. It's just like really it's genocidal music, if you really think about it, in terms, especially in terms of like what we have in hip hop today. So we have um, things that glorify drug dealing, kind of like what the TV does. You got things that glorify, alternative lifestyles, such as homosexuality, and just pretty much anything that goes against the text. People selling drugs, people enticing our sisters, our younger women to be super promiscuous and just showing off their bodies to the extent to where it just influences a lot of people, right? What else? We have peer pressure from just our peer pressure to be like others. Um, all these things really just shape how we perceive things to be, and they all contribute to backsliding. You know, um, I know in Luke. Let's go to some text now, right? So I'm going to be reading Luke. Um, I'm going to be reading Luke chapters 9, and I'm going to start off with verse 62. So let me get there. So I'm going to go to Luke 9 and 62, right? So let me just go ahead and pull it up. Uh, 62. Okay. Let's see here. So we have a whole lot of list of examples, of texts and stuff, especially through our Messiah, man. Our Messiah has taught us not to be doing these things. And it's also keeping us, gave us ways in which to keep us strong, and so that we won't go back. And one of them is to, just to get along like-minded people. That's how we stay away from it. That's how well it helps us stay away from it. Because if your spirit is pushed to into apostasy, then guess what? You're gonna be led into apostasy. So let's go ahead and pull this stuff up here. Um, Let me go ahead and add this. Let me see here. Like I said, this is probably going to be a short show because he is not, our brother's not here. Let's see. Um, so I'm going to go to the presentation and let's go to share my screen. Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay. So now I'm sharing my screen here. Hopefully everybody can see it. Uh, let's take a look here. I'm going to read a little bit extra because I like to read the Bible. If y'all know me, I like to read the Bible. I'm gonna start off in the New King James, right? So this is Luke 9. The point is going to be in 62, but I'm going to read a little bit extra, right? So it says, let's start at uh, let's start at 58. So it said, and Jesus said to him, foxes have holes and birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head. 55, 59. Then he said to another, follow me. But he said, Lord, let me first go bury my father. Jesus said to him, let the dead bury their own dead, but you go and preach the kingdom of God. And another also said, Lord, I will follow you, but let me first go and bid them farewell who are at my house. I think I copied the wrong one. I'm gonna read it out just for the sake of it. Oh no, this is it. It says, but Jesus said to him, no one having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of God. So we see here that looking back causes you to fall away into apostasy, you know, because and it says it's not fit, right? So if you start off one way, pretty much, and then you go off and you start doing another, and you start going off and doing into another way, then guess what? You have just fell back into apostasy, right? Or you backslid because you're looking back at the certain things, right? One interesting story that I like to compare this to, or that I think it connects to, is the story of Lot's wife, right? We all know what happened with Lot's wife, right? They were all exiting Sodom and Gomorrah. And what did she do? She actually turned back and started looking, back at the city when God said not to do that. And then what happened? What happened to her? She ended up turning into a pillar of salt, you know? So all of these things um, contribute to us falling back or backsliding or committing a apostasy as the biblical text defines it in English, you know. And it's and there's different ways that we can do this, which we'll get to a little bit later, but I'm going to continue to read some more examples, right? Another example of falling back or backsliding is when you take your eyes off of what's already written ahead of you, and then you start focusing on the things around you that pull you back in, like the peer pressure, right? Or even just other things, like you might have some dangerous things that you're dealing with, and instead of just focusing on the goal ahead, we fall back into that we started letting things around us influence us, or start coming in and start taking over a little bit, as to say, and then we start falling backwards, right? So another good example of this is the example of Peter when the Messiah approached him on a ship, right? And that's in Matthew 14 and 22, which I'm going to go to right now, right? So in Matthew 14 and 22, it's a similar situation. Now, Peter didn't get turned into pillar of salt, but as he started to walk on the water and start going toward the Messiah, he started sinking because he started paying attention to everything that was going on around him, which is not a good thing. So that's a way. I mean, a way that I'm implying for us to keep away from backsliding is to not focus on the things around us. And that's where the congregation comes into play. You get around like minded people, and it just helps you to steer clear of this stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this instance up because I like reading about it. Okay. So let me just get to it here. Matthew 14:22. I just lost my train of thought for a second. Okay. And I'm going to read a little bit of it. No, I think this is the right one. So I'm going to go back to the New King James Version. Okay. Then we'll go down to 22. Okay. And it says, Matthew 14:22. It says, immediately Jesus made his disciples get into the boat and go before him to the other side while he sent the multitude away. And when he had sent the multitude away, he went up on the mountain by himself to pray. Now, when evening came, he was alone there, but the boat was now in the middle of the sea, tossed by the waves from the wind that was contrary. Verse 25. Now, in the fourth watch of the night, Jesus went to them, walking on the sea. 26, here's the point. And when the disciples saw him walking by the sea, they were troubled, saying, it is a ghost. And they cried out for fear. But immediately Jesus spoke to them, saying, be of good cheer. It is I. Do not be afraid. Now, here we go. And Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you on the water. Now, notice how Peter is he just asked him to come to the water, right? Like, prove it to me. Like, if it's really you, ask me to come to the water, right? uh so come to you on the water, right? So now let's look at 29. It says, so he said, come. And when Peter had gone down out of the boat, he walked on the water to go to Jesus. So he was walking on the water, right? But watch this, verse 30. But when he saw that the wind was boisterous, he was afraid, and beginning to seek, he cried out, saying, Lord, save me. And immediately Jesus stretched out his hand and caught him and said to him, O you of little faith, why do you doubt? And when they got into the boat, the wind ceased. Then those who were in the boat came and worshipped him, saying, truly, you are the Son of God. Now we see here in this other instance, we see Peter, once he started looking around, the brother, the brother starts slipping. He started paying attention to everything that was going off, and he starts slipping. He starts slipping because he was focusing on the wrong things. If you focus on the wrong things, then it's going to pull you away, and it can make you start falling into apostasy. In this situation, it can make us start sinking into apostasy, right? Or backsliding. You know what I'm saying? So we have to get rid of all of these things. That's why, like I said, and I'm going to continue to stress this point, that it's great to be around like-minded people, because as a body, once one part of the body starts to ail, then the other part, they take on more of a responsibility, and they start walking and they start lifting those other ailing parts up, helping them to heal. Right? It's easier to attack a situation when you got more than one person. Now I know all situations don't call for a team effort in order that you have to deal with it, and some just call for yourself to just be dealing with it yourself. But in this situation, but you know what I'm saying? It's always good to have those strong people in your corner, right? So now let's look at a couple other examples of backsliders, right? Let's look at the testimonies that is given in the Tanakh, right? And the issues that the prophets brought to the children of Israel, because they were habitual backsliders. I mean, and it's kind of odd because they had all these miracles, they had the Most High showing them all of this glory, and they still were backsliders. You know, I tell people this all the time, and this is my opinion. And this is what I get when I read the text and start dealing with stuff like that. It is harder. It takes more faith for us because we don't see the same type of miracles that they saw back in the day. Like, imagine you had miracles performed by the Messiah, where he's walking on water, reaching out his hands to us. Or, we had somebody like, I forget who it was. It was a Gideon who held back the sun, for a day, or, Hezekiah being granted that life, our elder Moses and Aaron when they separated the seas, and, through the power of the Most High, of course. But imagine if we had those examples that we saw out of that, man. It would be just really easy to believe. But since we don't, I think it takes more faith for us, especially looking back at the examples without the miracles, for us to stay on course, which in turn makes it easier to backslide. But that's why I say, if we fellowship together with like-minded people, then they will help us stay the course, and we won't backslide. Or even if we feel like we're about to backslide, we talk to the brethren, get some good counsel, and then our sister, and then help us be strengthened, kind of like on the mount when Yeshua was being tempted on the mount, you know right before the day of his death. Could you imagine just having to go through that death, or understanding that you had to go through the death on the cross, and the very next day, could you imagine that, man? The brother got weak, our big bro got weak, you know and guess what? It says that the angels came to him and ministered to him and strengthened him. You understand? So, I mean, if the Messiah could, if it helped for the Messiah to have a little strengthening from angels, whatnot, then guess what? The brethren to help us be strengthened is not a far fetched idea, and I think it's one that we need to really latch on to, right? Okay, so let's go back to let's look at this, right? I'm going to Jeremiah 14 this time, right? I'm going to Jeremiah 14 this time. Okay, so we're going to go to Jeremiah 14, and we're just going to read this whole thing here, right? And like I said, I'm in the New King James Version, as you guys can see. Jeremiah 14. Okay, let me see which verse I really want. Okay, so the point is going to be in 7, but I'm going to read up a little bit. I'm going to read down. I'm going to start at verse 1, right? Jeremiah 14 and 1 reads, "The word of the Lord that came to Jeremiah concerning the droughts. Judah mourns, and her gates languish. They mourn for the land, and the cry of Jerusalem has gone up. Their nobles have sent their lads for water. They went to the cisterns and found no water. They returned with their vessels empty. They were ashamed and confounded and covered their heads, because the ground is parched, for there was no rain in the land. The plowmen were ashamed. They covered their heads. Yes, the deer also gave birth in the field, but left because there was no grass. And the wild donkeys stood in the desolate heights. They sniffed at the wind like jackals. Their eyes failed because there was no grass." Here we go. "O Lord, though our iniquities testify against us, do it for your name's sake, for our backslidings are many. We have sinned against you. Oh, the hope of Israel, his Savior in time of trouble. Why should you be like a stranger in the land, and like a traveler who turns aside to tarry for a night? And why should you be like a man astonished, like a mighty one who cannot save? Yet you, O Lord, are in our midst, and we are called by your name. Do not leave us." Right? So we see here, that Israel was full of backslidings. And what was causing those backslidings? It was the sin. Guess what? It was the sin of the things that was going on around them. They just, it just magnifies everything, man, and it makes it harder, especially if your heart is devised to go into those things that you want, that you desire. That's why one of the commandments is not to covet, right? The 10 Debarim, right? The last Debar is not to covet. Why? What does covet do? If you covet or you desire something, guess what? You're going to eventually want it, right? And the more that you desire it, day by day, your passion or that lust for what you desire starts to get stronger, right? And that's why it's very important for us to meditate on this word daily, keep those things out of the way, and also, you guessed it, congregate with like-minded people so that they can help you stay strong in the way, so that you will not backslide or fall into apostasy, right? So it says, verse 7, I'm going to read it again. It says, "O Lord, though our iniquities testify against us, do it for your name's sake, for our backslidings are many. We have sinned against you." You see, sin calls us to backslide. You got, like earlier, like what was stated earlier, right? You got all these reasons that cause you to backslide. And there's many more, but I just highlighted three, right? One of those reasons is movies, right? Say for if I mean we talked about this a while ago on a show that was called the Social Hub, which was a very interesting show, is where we talked about many different social topics. It was me, Sister Reese, Orthodox Moore, Brother BA was on there a few times. We Sister we had a good show. Brother Elijah Moses, we had a pretty good show, and we tackled a lot of this stuff. And one of these things that we brought up was, the fact that many of these things that shape our reality is the things that we see on TV or hear on the radio, right? So guess what? If you got something pounding in your head, boom, 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 okay, kill, 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 sell drugs, sell drugs, sell drugs. We have to get all of these these worldly items, these worldly lusts. I got to get this Benz, or I got to go get that foreign, or I got to go get this Louis bag. If this is what everybody's saying, to where they're saying they're associating this with success in life today, right? Then guess what? If you hear it enough, right? Eventually you're gonna start paying attention to it more and more and more. And the more you pay attention to it, guess what? You start walking that way, and it very much strongly leads to apostasy or backsliding. It could, because as soon as you let all of these wicked thoughts into your head, then they start taking place, and then they start shaping your mind. It's kind of like that parable that I think it was Paul, Elder Paul, he was saying about how when the demons leave. I'm gonna pull it because I know I'm gonna butcher that one, because I don't I haven't read that in a long time, but I'm going to pull that. I'll pull it up a little bit later. But just to finish out the point, you know, all of these things that go on around us, they help cause us to backslide, and it helps cause us to apostate or fall into apostasy, and that is why, once again, it is important for us to gather with like-minded people, because it will help us keep us strong in our time of need, right? We got to meditate on this word daily. That's how we stop all of the nonsense, right? And that's why the purpose of community is so strong. That's why it's so relevant today. We have to have that sense of community. Community is what's going to help us get through these trying times when we feel like we can't push on. It's always going to be a brother or sister there that's going to pick us up. Like, come on, brother, man. We're going to help you. Now we know that overall it's the Most High. We fall down to our knees and pray. But guess what? The Most High will send people in your way. If you're really sincere and you're praying about it and you're really trying to stay away from it, the Most High will send people in your way to help keep you stronger. You know what I'm saying? He will never leave you by yourself, right? But let me go ahead and get a couple more texts of what was going on in the Tanakh with Israel and how they fell away, right? And then once we do that, then we'll start going into the, digging deeper into ways to stay away from that type of stuff, right? So we already saw in Luke where Jesus said, "No one who puts to the his hands to the plow and looks back is fit for the kingdom." Right? Okay. So this time I want to go to the Apocrypha. Right? I want to get the Apocrypha because it is I like the Apocrypha, and there's a place. I know you guys, a lot of people don't subscribe to Second Esdras, or they think it's wrong. But man, there's this the passage in Second Esdras 7, man. It's one of my favorite passages because it describes the path, to the kingdom. It describes the path to the kingdom with fire on one side and water on the other side, right? All the representing the dangers all around, kind of like what Elder Peter was doing when he was on that walking on the water. He started paying attention to these things and he started sinking, right? Or falling into apostasy, going backwards, backsliding, right? Which caused him to sink, right? These thoughts, instead of focusing forward, right? So let's get it. This is going to be Second Esdras, for those listening and want to follow, chapter 7. Let's see here, verse 1. Let's see. Hopefully they send it to me in Bible Hub. I know there's a way to get there, but I just don't know which Bibles in Bible Hub actually do it, and I don't want to be sitting there searching. But let's see here. Second Esdras 7. This is the CEB. Should I read that one? Oh, there's the King James one. Okay. No, let's see. Okay, here 1 through 140. This is the NRSV. I like the NRSV. Let's check this one out. Okay, so it says, let's see here. Hold on one second. Let me just find my place, guys. Bear with me 1 second. And just in the meantime, you guys know this is, we want to thank Showtime for allowing us to do this today, having this platform for us to gather. And like I said, the link is in the chat. If you guys want to come on, man, just click that link and I'll definitely bring you on and you can give your ideas about it. This show was supposed to be done with Carl Israel Doctrine. I don't know what happened to the brother. I hope everything's good with him. Um, okay, so it says, let's see here. Okay, here we go. Yeah, here we go. All right, so I'm gonna start reading. This is pretty lengthy, so just bear with me, guys. And I'm gonna put this on the screen so you can follow along with me anyway. Let's see here. So I'm gonna stop that screen, then I'm gonna present again. Okay, share screen. Let's go to, here we go. Second Esdras. All right, so this is Second Esdras, right? So hopefully you guys can see this pretty good. But this says, okay. Okay, so I'm gonna start at verse 7. Second Esdras chapter 7 and verse 1. It says, "When I had finished speaking these words, the angel who had been sent to me on the former nights was sent to me again. He said to me, 'Rise, Ezra, and listen to the words that I have come to speak to you.' I said, 'Speak, my Lord.' And he said to me, 'There is a sea set in a wide expanse, so that it is deep and vast, but it has an entrance set in a narrow place, so that it is like a river. If there are two, if there are those who wish to reach the sea, to look at it or to navigate it, how can they come to the bar? How can they come to the broad part unless they pass through the narrow part? Another example, there is a city built and set on a plain, and it is full of good things, but the entrance to it is narrow and set in a precipitous place, so that there is fire on the right hand and deep water on the left. There is only one path lying between them, that is, between the fire and the water, so that only one person can walk on the path. If now the city is given to someone as an inheritance, how would they receive that inheritance unless by passing through the appointed danger? Right? What is this telling us? Focus on the city that has all the good things in it, the ones that was promised to us, right? And all this, the city with the good things was promised to us. All we have to do is get to that city. But in order for us to get to that city, we have to walk through a path with all kinds of distractions on us. And in this case, it's the fire on one hand, it's the deep water on the right or the left, right? So it says, I said, that is right, Lord. He said to me, so also is Israel's portion. For I made the world for their sake, and when Adam transgressed my statutes, what had been made was judged. And so the entrances of this world were made narrow and sorrowful and toilsome. They are few and evil, full of dangers and involved in great hardships. But the entrances of the greater world are broad and safe, and yet the fruit of immortality and yield the fruit of immortality. Therefore, unless the living pass through the difficult and futile experiences, they can never receive those things that have been reserved for them. Now, therefore, why are you disturbed, seeing that you are to perish? Why are you moved, seeing that you are mortal? Why have you not considered in your mind what is to come rather than what is now present? You understand? Don't focus on those things, right? Don't focus on those things. Proverbs, I think it's I forget what Proverbs it is, but it says a righteous man falls 7 times, but he gets back up, but the wicked fall into mischief or something like that. That's a paraphrase, right? So it's not saying that we're not going to fall and we're not going to stumble. If you've stumbled one time, you're not going to make it to that gate. No, what it's saying is, do not stay focused on those ungodly things. If you make a mistake, get back up and keep going again. And that's the importance of having a strong um, um, backing in your corner. With strong-minded people, like-minded people who are going to keep you strong in these times of danger. You understand? And keep us focused on that faith, prayer, and dealing with your brethren of like mind will definitely help you, right? So we see here that these things are, there. The distractions are going to be there. Our job is to stay focused, right? Stay focused on these things, right? I'm gonna read one more thing because everybody goes through this stuff, right? And this is just a an example of strengthening, not necessarily by the brethren, but by the Most High, because one of the psalmists, right, he was having an issue because he was seeing the wicked prosper from the things that they were doing, and he couldn't figure it out why. I mean, he understood why, but it was like, wow, man, it's like, I never get nothing that I deserve. You know, it's just a mind state of like, I've done all of these things that you asked me, or I've tried to do these things that you asked me to stay the course, right? And I do my best at it. But then you have these people who are doing all of these wicked things. They're talking about these wicked things, say for instance, like rap music, right? But then you see the rappers, they have all this money, they blowing all this stuff, or so it seems. That's the image that they portray on the video. I know a lot of them don't even have it like that, and they're working on borrowed money, but they're living they seem to be living these lavish lifestyles. And the way that TV and society portrays it is like, if you don't have these any of these toys, I want to call it, living in a 10 bedroom house with only one person, or two people, maybe three people, but you got a 10 bedroom house that you don't need, right? Just because it looks good, right? And it makes you feel better. And that's what we equate to success, right? But that ain't what the Most High equates to success, right? Yes, it's good. It's cool if you have that stuff, but there's ways that you go about getting it to where it's unright. It's not, you're dealing with righteousness, right? And then also, this is a sidebar, but also if we have it, then we share it with those who are in our community, right? Especially those of need, right? If you need something, then that's why God gave us all of these things. He gave it to us to be able to allow. Because what did it say? It says there are many different parts of the body. You have good teachers, you have people who got a lot of money who can help it out, the cause, right? Then you also have farmers. Everybody plays their part in this body that we live in. And I think that that's the what we need to get back to, this communal way of thinking instead of this selfish way of thinking that this society have placed on us, right? But I kind of drifted off a little bit, but let's go back and deal with a couple more texts, right? So let's I want to read that one in Psalms, but I don't know exactly where it's at right now. Maybe it'll come to me, but let me hold tight for a minute, right? Let me just look in here for a second. And Shalom, AC Shakora. Shalom to you, brethren. And shalom to everybody else who's not speaking but listening. It's for you. I see 4 or 5 people in here. If you don't mind, hit that like and subscribe button, and support Sal's channel. Sal's been pretty good to us, especially over the years. Bringing us good debates and good lessons from a lot of well-known people who are well-known today. They actually got their start here. So let's show the brother Sal some love. Subscribe and share to the chat, right? Okay, but let's go ahead and get back to it, right? Let me just look. I'm gonna try to see if this is the text in Psalm 70, if this is the one that I'm searching for. Uh, mm, okay, let's see if this is the one. Um, found it. No, that's not it. Okay, let me. I'm gonna try 2 more places. It might be Psalm 68 or 69. Um, Oh man, look at this. All praises to the Most High, man. I was just reading that Second Ezra 7, but look at this. This is Psalm 69, and this is probably a sidebar, but I just want to read it because it kind of it's talking about the deep waters, right? And even with this, the effect of Peter, when he went to walking on the water. Psalm 69 and verse 1, it says, "Save me, O God, for the waters have come up to my neck. I sink in deep mire where there is no standing. I have come into deep waters where the floods overflowing me. I am weary with my crying. My throat is dry. My eyes fail while I wait for my God. Those who hate me without a cause are more than okay. So yeah, so I'm not going to finish reading that, but man, I just found that interesting. We were just talking about that, and it just popped up. But I'm gonna just this is the last place I'm gonna try to check. Um, this is not it. Okay, anyway, but it's basically, the psalmist is you know he's complaining to God, or he's not really complaining, but he's just wondering why all of these wicked people are getting the glories and riches and stuff like that when they're being evil and they're not being punished. Meanwhile, the people who suffer, for the name of the Most High, you know, is being treated so poorly, you know, and these are the things that we all kind of go through, right? I mean, I've had thoughts like that many a times where I just sit and I think about it, like, well, why is this wicked person over here, who mistreats people all the time, who rapping about these negative things, these genocidal things that we see on these TV and in our music. How do they keep prospering like this? Meanwhile, your people are who are paying attention to your word and trying to walk it out every way possible. Why are most of us on the bottom? Now I know there are certain people who are doing well for themselves, monetarily speaking, but there are a lot of people who will walk this walk out and they don't have a lot of stuff. Now, if we sit up there and we focus on these things, you know, it'd be easy for us to apostate or to fall into apostasy or backslide, back into the world. Because then we start coveting these things, right? We start letting all this stuff get into our heads. Then we start coveting it. And then we start doing anything necessary or anything within our power to go get these things, whether they break the command or not. Hold on one second. This is the brother Carl calling me. One second. Hey Carl. Yeah, I'm online. I sent you the email. I can't hear you. Okay. All right. Well, I'm here. So I'm gonna be here probably for another 20 minutes. I'm sorry guys, please bear with me. Oh, somebody popped on. Let me see here. Um StreamYard. Hey, hello? Oh, that's you. Okay.
Yes.
What's going on, Israel Doctrine? Hey, peace, y'all. Israel finally made it. What's going on, my brother?
Man, still in a world of turmoil.
Yeah, I'm just going through this a little bit. Hold on one second. I'm gonna finish my thought out right quick. So anyway, so all of these things lead to backsliding, you know, and as long as we don't focus on them, which is easier said than done, which is why the point being stressed is get with like-minded people so that they can help strengthen you in a time of need, right? All of these things, when these things come upon us, then, it's important for us to deny them, not let them have the power over us. And the ways that we do that, like I said, like-minded people, prayer, and then also, um, eliminating this stuff out of our spaces. I don't even listen to worldly music no more. I just turn it off. Even the love songs is not even that good no more because it's all about promiscuity, switching from man to man and women to women, just jumping from different partners and stuff like that, selling drugs on things, doing drugs, turning into dope fiends, man. If man, I remember when I'm 46, so I'm a lot older than a lot of people these days, right? I'm younger than some, but as a youth coming up, man, we used to even look at weed like, man, if you smoke weed, you a dope fiend, you know. Let alone if you talking about doing all these pills and mollies and tabs and stuff like that. I mean, the level of what we accept now has gotten so big that it just destroying our community and it's causing a lot of people to apostate, a lot of people to backslide. You know what I'm saying? And that's that's the gist of it. Oh yeah, brother Carl, man. Yeah, I was just talking about I just ran through a couple scriptures, man, about backsliding. I know this is your topic, and so I'm gonna go ahead and give the floor to you, and let you speak because I've been speaking probably for about
Talking
40
and
minutes.
hoping we can have an interview. But my thing is, I'm not a backslider because I've never really left that world. And when I tried to do right, and I started messing with these Hebrew Israelites, because I didn't know they was Hebrew Israelites at the time, the Israel of God in Riverdale, Illinois. I was coming over here beating up on Zadok ben Israel and Judah Israel and Josh and all of these people that Sal was bringing over here because they didn't want to debate me or deal with me on my channel. So I came over here and smashed heads. They was against the Israel of God. And I was sticking up for the Israel of God because I was still believing in them in a sense. But once I heard them say they was Hebrew Israelites, all fellowship has ceased. I don't watch them. I don't listen to them. I got old tapes, but this new stuff, I don't listen to that stuff. They allow people to attack me and do things of that nature. So I never really got a chance to get out of the wicked world. I grabbed the Bible to try to get up out of that. But soon as I started messing with the religious people or the spiritual people or the Hebrew Israelites, they hated me because I didn't want to be a Hebrew Israelite. So I don't backslide. I just never got a chance to make it out that world. And one day I will make it out of that world, but dealing with these wicked people, they will never let me out.
So Carl, how would you define backsliding? Because I went to the
Well, putting your hand on the plow and looking black.
that's funny because I mentioned that text in Luke. Yeah.
Because I put my hand on the plow, but I never looked back. But like I said, I never got that far. So but I still got my hand on the plow, but me and the plow is right here. And they right there. I never got down the road. Because number one, I had to argue and debate with people that was foul. And then after I argued and debated and defended the Israel of God position at that time, then I found out they was foul. So hypocrites have always kept me from the word of God because I'm like, I can't be a hypocrite. I'm either be hot or I'm going to be cold. And when I try to get cold, they want me to get hot. So I just get hot. I don't fake the phone. When I came dealing with people in the beginning in 2009, because in 2003, I just had another man's wife, got her pregnant, all that stuff. So I was still dealing in the world that I dealt with because I'd never been a foul person. I always been a person that wanted to do right and be righteous. It's just seeing the hypocrites kept me from ever touching the Bible. I was worse than anybody you want to know that said the Bible is, man, don't bring me that Bible because you full of BS. And I don't want to hear no BS because you won't mislead me.
Hey, when did you come into the into
96.
one to study the Bible?
96.
96? Okay. So you kind of did backslide then because you was doing adultery and stuff like that in 2003, right?
No, but see, I never faced it. So that's why I ended up getting back into it. Because in the 90s, I had a girlfriend, but I left her and went to California. And that should have been my wife. But see, I didn't have no knowledge of everything back then. That should have been my wife. And see, everything after that has been messed up because that should have been my wife. But once it got messed up, relationship forever is messed up. So that's what being young and dumb. But see, like I said, I never played in between. I'm not a lukewarm person. So people see me and they like, well, he's cold. He's not. And I try to be, but I've never been cold. I've never been straight religious guy. If I grew up a religious guy, maybe you can perceive that of me or wish that of me. But I grew up a guy that started shooting dice at 14, chasing women. That's my life. I just tried to stop it. And like I said, dealing with wicked Hebrew Israelites. Because those people that was attacking the Israel of God was wicked. Josh, Zadok, and all them people was wicked. And then, like I said, after I got to defending them years later, it's like, they say they Hebrew Israelites. And I can't get them to say, ain't no such thing as a Hebrew Israelite. Oh, they wicked too. So it's like I wanted to put the Bible down. See, but I don't let nobody motivate what I'm going to do. It's the Lord's will or my will. It ain't nobody else wants or dislikes or whatever. It's what I want or what the Lord wants. Nobody get in between me. And whoever that is that's asking why I molest my niece, can you block them? Because
well, I mean, you put it out there, right? Did you say that?
do you not see the chat?
Yeah, I see the chat. But did you?
Is
Did
that
you?
me?
Huh?
Is that me?
Is what you?
To ask him if he. Why would I say ask me if?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, did you mention that?
Did I molest my niece?
Yeah.
Do I sound like an idiot? Do I look like an idiot?
I didn't know. I don't know what he was talking about. Yeah.
I said I put a hickey on my niece. They said molest my niece. So they bearing false witness.
Oh.
And you gonna show a false witness.
No, I'm trying to delete the comment, but I don't know how on here.
It's all good.
But yeah, man. So I do have some questions. I got a couple questions, right? Just dealing with the topic.
And the link is in the side chat. Why don't y'all come in here and ask the question? Why are you afraid to come in here? If you want to talk to me about molesting my niece, come in the room and talk to me. Don't be a coward.
Well, I think a lot of people a lot of people have done things that they wasn't really privy to back in the day.
No, that's all good.
We all did some.
So don't be a coward. See, they telling you to be a man and ask me something foul, but they bearing false witness, and all they gonna do is get you into their sin. See, this is what the wicked do. Now you can make an excuse for the wicked if you want to, but you did say open session, right? Meaning you come in and it's open for anybody.
Yeah. Okay. Joseph, I'm gonna ask you, brother, to if you're gonna come up, and you can come up and ask the question if you want to. But yeah, man, he just explained that he didn't molest his niece, so having an incestuous relationship.
Again, and I would like for him to just block.
So you asked him, he answered you. He answered you. So I think we should either leave it like that, or you can come up and have a dialogue with him about it.
You hit the three things on the right, and it'll say block or put time out. I say block, I don't even want no time out.
Well, I mean, if you mention something, and that's what he
Brother, that's a foul spirit, and that's what I say. If you let foul spirits go like this, then you wonder why I quit messing with religious folks who want to be righteous but do unrighteous things, trying to please the unrighteous.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna put him on timeout because he's bringing some stuff that ain't got nothing to do with the topic here. All right. So you're on timeout, brother Joseph, from commenting, bro. But please keep it to the topic, please. Or you can come up and have a dialogue with him if you like. If it's gonna be civil. But anyway, let's get back to the topic because we venturing way off right now, right? We're not even talking about that. We talking about some other stuff. Um, we talk about backsliding, right? Which is defined as apostasy, in the English, So when we talk about apostasy, brother Carl, I'm gonna pull up my notes here, right? And I say, where do you think what do you think is the cause of backsliding or being apostasy or
Well,
apostating?
you will have to define that. I wasn't here when you defined that to the audience. Apostasy, I never heard the
It
word.
was backsliding.
Backsliding,
What
like
causes it?
once again, you start going away, and then you start returning to the dog vomit.
Hmm. Go
Returning
ahead.
to the dog vomit.
Okay, returning to the dogma, right?
Dog vomit.
Oh, dog vomit. Ah, hey, it would be good to read that one. What's that? What's that scripture? Let's read it.
I don't know offhand.
Okay. Um, Let me
But
see.
once again, like I said, see, most people think when you try to do right and you start doing right, that you backslide. But if you never left a certain life and tried to do good and even try to follow a better way in the life you live in, once again, you never left the lifestyle. So let's look at Samson. Samson was hoeing and doing all that thing with them women, though he was in covenant with God. He never left the lifestyle. Correct?
Yeah.
Though he was in covenant with God and stuff, he was doing the same thing he was doing from day one. That's how he got caught up and told a woman his weakness.
Yeah, he backslid for real.
Well, break it down. Tell him how I don't see how he backslid.
Because he started off good, right? Because the Most High told him, he said, "Look, don't partake in this stuff because in the commandments it says don't partake in this stuff because it's gonna cause you to sin and go away from me." Hey, shalom, brother Bleedo, how you doing, bro? Tap that link, Bleedo. Come and join us, man. Let's talk about backsliding.
Let's talk about it. How did Samson backslide? Was he living a double life, a different life than what he once did? Or did he live the same life, was trying to do good, but he never left the life? So therefore the life did something to him because he never left the life. If you lead a life and then go back to the life, that's backsliding. If you never lead a life, that's not backsliding. I don't think God that ignorant that he would define it as backslide. I don't define it as backslide. And if God came to me and said or did anything, I would say, God, hey, we got a problem. You have to give me some reason why you saying this is backslide. Because I never left the life.
Yeah, you could be right. Yeah, because okay, let me go on by the definition of apostasy, right? Let me read the definition just for you. So
If
this
it ain't biblical, though, I mean, you can read it to. If it ain't biblical, I don't go by it. Backslide.
it kind of goes into what you were saying though about apostasy, right? So let me I'm gonna get the Merriam-Webster definition, which I read already, right? So the first one, it says an act of refusing to continue to follow, obey, or recognize a religious faith. So that kind of goes into what you're saying about falling out of the faith, right? Abandonment of a previous loyalty, right? So You could be right because he never. Well, he kind of did. He fell out of the. He fell out, right? He fell out of there,
He
and
cut his hair. That's what his
oh, you
separation
talking about
from God
Samson?
is.
You talking about? I thought you said. Oh, okay, I think he's Solomon. I'm thinking
Solomon,
Solomon.
yeah, Solomon.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Solomon, scratch that. Samson is who I was trying to say. They both start.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Samson, yeah,
Samson cut his hair.
yeah.
That's when he didn't even backslide.
No,
David
you're right. You're
did.
right. Samson didn't backslide. I don't think Samson backslid
Solomon, Solomon went after them women
either.
and just effed up.
He started making idols and everything. Yeah,
Right.
Solomon was a real
Forgive me
backslider.
the stroke, brother. The
He
stroke.
came back though. He did come back. He brought it back, but he was old after he brought it back though.
See, that's how I look at myself. I look at a Bible character, a narrative, and say, well, am I on the same journey or am I on a different journey?
Yeah.
So I take Samson and look at him. I take David and look at him.
Mm-hmm.
Because David was a killer. That's why Uriah had to go. He wanted the man wife. Man, this dude got to go. I done got her pregnant. This and that. And he won't go lay with her. I'm trying to clean it up. I'm trying to outfox the world right now. They won't let me outfox it. So I got to turn it to the lion. I got to kill some.
Yeah.
Because that's what killers do. They kill. So,
Well,
like I said, I've never left the lifestyle that I once lived. I tried to do good. I tried to be amongst these people and stuff. But when you're amongst these people, number one, they foul people. They just like Roman Catholics. They Hebrew Israelites. Same thing.
hey, you know what's interesting about what you just said, man? I was just talking about that too. Like things just on the outside obstructing our vision from what's put in front of us. Like we're promised the kingdom, right? Promised the kingdom with all good things, right? And all we got to do is walk that narrow path, reach that gate, and then walk through the gate, right? But instead, we have all of this stuff going on around us, right? Now I know you don't subscribe to the Apocrypha, but in the Apocrypha, I just read in Second Ezra 7, it said we have one path, right? And then we got fire on one side, water on the other side. But at the end of the path, we got the gate. We got the gate, and all of the.
Old folks' wisdom. Old folks, because see, I'm in the natural state of Arkansas. We got old folks around here tell you old folks' wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Just be right in whatever you do. Because you can be a pimp and be pimping wrong. You can be a gangster and be a gangster wrong. But if you're going to be a pimp right, if you're going to be a gangster right, whatever you do, you got to be right or you got to be righteous in your acts. Because if you unrighteous, then you're a wicked person. If you righteous, you're a righteous person. You are what you are. That's why you can't play in between. That's why the Lord said He's gonna spew you out if you playing in between. But if you in a own a whorehouse, you have to be a righteous judge over any matter that goes on in your house.
Yep. And just to get to this right quick, because you mentioned this text earlier. This is Proverbs 26:11, right? New King James, it says, as a dog returns to his own vomit, so a fool repeats his folly. That's wisdom right there. And I think a lot of us don't really pay attention to the causes of what causes us to do these things. And if we did, then we just wouldn't even do a lot of these things that make us want to backslide or fall into apostasy.
I just take out of here, man, because that's a foul spirit.
What happened?
That's a foul spirit down there. You put them on timeout and they come back with the same foul spirit. If you're going to participate on the show, come in or whatever, be righteous. If you're going to participate,
let him say it. He ain't said nothing about you. Just, if you want to unsubscribe, then let him unsubscribe. Can't control that. It is what it is. But the thing, let's just keep it on topic. Don't even worry about him. He's down there. We up here.
You don't want to put a righteous judgment on this, cool.
He ain't really said that, no. He's just expressing his
He
feelings.
say anything and it's not on topic because none of that is on topic. You told him stay on topic, right?
That's okay. He has a right to feel how he feels, bro. I mean, I'm not gonna police how he feels. You know, he ain't said nothing
Go
disrespectful. So
ahead, let him do what he do. Do what you
yeah.
do, brother. Matter of fact, get Fowler. If you gonna do it, go all the way. Don't play the middle because you're gonna get spewed out.
Well, we've been on this thing for about an hour already. I'm about to end it anyway. But yeah, but what I was saying was like we got to stop letting these distractions get to us. You know what I'm saying? All we're supposed to do is be focusing on that what's in front of us, what the Most High has set out for in front of us. As long as we keep our eyes on there and we deal with like-minded people who have better who are a little bit stronger in certain situations than we are, then they will help us to be strong as well. Of course, along with
Where
of
are
course,
these people at though? Because half of the people that say they Israelites, they prescribe themselves as Hebrew Israelites. And soon you say, brother, what is a Hebrew Israelite? That's foul. You might as well keep Christmas. You might as well eat pork and stuff. But we know better than that. Well, God called you Israel. Why you taking this Gentile term Hebrew and running it around and teaching people lies on the Hebrew Israelites and stuff? But see, nobody want to be righteous. That's why he say try the spirit. Once you try the spirit and ask it something that's legit and right, and you see that it refused to go with what right, then your job as a righteous judge is to put judgment there. Oh, this is a foul human being. They line up and they a 501c3 getting tax-free money, lying to the people. They just playing along to get along.
yeah. Well, so the thing that I'm saying, man, is like we just gotta focus on what's in front of us, because if we start getting pulled, then that's how we apostate or
But
we fall
it's
back,
all good, man.
because even when
Came over here, and that's why I said have it open forum so people can come in here.
ain't
But
nobody came yet.
that foul spirit in the room got me ready to go, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that we didn't start on time. I'm sorry a foul spirit came in the room because they be chasing me out. See, they chase the righteous. They always behind me, and I figure brothers will cut them off and stop the foul spirits from being foul spirits. But I mean, when don't nobody want to give proper judgment, like brother, you bearing false witness, you wicked, you lying, you gossiping, you doing all this. These are the things that righteous people are supposed to cut off. I believe in rebuke. Believe in reproving. I believe in all that stuff. Because when you don't do that, then the body gets sick. That's why the Lord said, if he sinned, the way to stop it is to kill him, cut him off from the people, and the people won't learn his ways. But if you allow a fornicator to run around fornicating, or adultery to run around, or a thief or whatever in your camp or in your circle or around you, and you don't purge it, because a little leaven's the whole lump. See, that's why I say I'm not a backslider. I just do what I do, and I'm righteous in what I do. When I find unrighteousness, I get it away from me. Because I'm liable to slaughter the unrighteousness. Man, what you doing? I'm a killer. Don't bring that around me. I'm a killer. I've always been that way. So when people saying he done went somewhere where I didn't start off at, I started off with separation. That's why I said every time I came over here to this debate, it was y'all lying on the Israel of God. Y'all lying on bull. Y'all lying on stuff. See? Because you have to separate the wheat from the tare. And you ain't got to literally separate them, but you got to be able to identify this is wheat and this is tare. But if you don't make no difference between the two, you're not going to be able to tell what's wheat and tare.
Yeah, but okay, let's get back to the topic right quick. Let's finish out strong, Carl. Um, so when how would you say that we can stop from backsliding? Like, what are some of the things that you would suggest to help us stop from backsliding?
Well,
I've
look,
said
like
some
the
things,
Lord said, get a small company. See, ain't nobody around me that I don't trust. If I don't
Mhm.
trust them, I'm testing them all the while. If I can trust them or not. That's why I'm trying the spirit every moment. Every moment I talk or deal with somebody, I'm trying spirits. Because I'm going to ask you something and see what you do or how you react towards it. I ain't going to suggest nothing wicked. But everything in life is a test because you got to make moves and stuff. Bearing false witness again. Oh, Showtime, put it up there. Showtime and debate talk for you is allowing child molesters in. I can't see the rest because the orange, the little green thing. Can you put it on the screen?
No, it's I deleted the comment.
What it say? Molesters and with charges.
Yeah, you reading it. I've deleted the comment already.
Yeah, but see, I was trying not to even let it get put up there. That's why I said, see, if you do
But you
it,
keep stop. You got to stop talking about it though. Just ignore what's going on in the
I
chat.
hear what you, but see, you said just ignore, and I'm saying just delete. Now, which one
I
was?
did delete it.
Oh,
I
hold
did
up.
delete it.
Which one would have stopped it if you would have deleted them when he said unsubscribe and 4 more comments come up there?
But you keep talking to him and about it, so he's talking back to you. If you stop talking to him, he ain't gonna say nothing to you.
I understand that, but I asked delete a long time ago. But I'm wrong. I stay
I
wrong.
deleted it. I delete. You can see it, but you
It's
can see
all
it, but
good. I'm wrong, brother. I'm wrong.
you can see it because it's part of the show.
I'm
But
wrong.
if you clicked your
Keep
YouTube,
talking about it. I'm wrong. I'll take the.
okay, brother.
Now they back again with another one because I have trolls that's following me. So as an
Okay.
administrator, you could cut the chat off because ain't nobody walking in the room anyway. They ain't gonna come here anyway.
Nah. Uh, I we about to end the show
All right.
because this we can't even we're not even staying on topic. Um, but and it's been going on for about a little over an hour anyway. But anyway, to
But
all
they
those,
start talking when I came in the room. See, that's why, to a degree, it's my fault because I wanted this and have an open air. But I know ain't nobody that's lying and BSing and doing all that stuff gonna confront me.
well, we didn't got so far away from the topic. We're not even on the topic no more. So let me just go ahead. I'm gonna close it out. I'm gonna give you the I'm gonna let you speak your piece, and
I'm
then I'm
good.
gonna go ahead and close it
Hi
out.
haters, hi haters. Glad y'all got this man some views. Though we couldn't have the show or do none of that stuff because of clear money, later will start terrain and all the other haters out there and stuff. Y'all do a good job following me around, stalking me. I give it to you. Satan stay on his job. The righteous won't do it though, but Satan he's never off duty.
All right, brother Carl, man. We'll do some we'll do some we'll do something later, bro. Um, you
I
know,
doubt it, but if you do something, you got to cut the chat off because haters gonna do what they
well,
do.
we ain't gonna cut the chat because there's a lot of people that get in there. You just gotta stop paying attention and don't respond to them. You know.
If you don't cut the chat, it's gonna happen again. Now, either
Well,
you gonna get them power or you gonna take power. That's how I move. I'm either gonna give you power to do wickedness, or I'm gonna take your power away from you so you can't do what you want to do. If you
hold
got
on one second.
questions, sister, please hit the
We
link.
got we got a question. We got a question dealing with the topic from AC
I have a
Shakura.
question. Is
It says,
still
I'm
the
gonna put it up here. It
same?
says, is a reprobate the same as a backslider?
No. Reprobated means that your mind is fixed and you only gonna do wrong. Backsliding is I want to do right, but every time I look around, people causing me to get back into what I said I ain't want to do. But see, I ain't never said I don't want to use profanity. I don't want to cut a head off. I don't want to kill. I ain't never said that. That's all the stuff that I really want to do. So I will never go backwards. Because if I start doing it, then that's when I done went back. Because my mindset is wrong to do that. God's word says wrong to do that. So I don't care how wicked they get, I really never do that. Only if I come face to face with someone that's doing this stuff on YouTube. See, they in the matrix now. So they turn into Agent Smith and do this stuff. And once again, if you the key maker, if you the host of the show, you the key maker, you got to take their power from them. Most people ain't never had to deal with it because most people won't talk to me. And so they don't see the type of individuals that I have to deal with on every show, every day, chasing me around. So when I say it's best to get rid of them, my judgment ain't no good. Like, I don't know my enemies and how they act and how they do this stuff. Because no one on Debate Talk is over here. Bleedo, he know me. You know me. Y'all people that are faces that know me, and every other face that's been on here, all they here to do is to cause confusion. They to do what the devil do. They trying to steal the showtime. They trying to cause confusion. They bearing false witness and all this other stuff. So when Satan come in the room, you got to close him out. In the South, they said, I rebuke you, Satan. Get out of here. And that's a righteous judgment when you know Satan is in the room. Rebuke him and tell him to get on.
Okay. Yeah, hopefully that answers your brother Shakora. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wind this thing down. And then we'll like I said, I'm gonna try to do these things every Shabbat, like around 12, prayerfully around 12, Central Standard Time. Which would probably be about 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So we'll try to have these on. I haven't decided what the next topic is going to be like, but if you're subscribed to Sal Showtime's, Facebook page, or, he's got the Debate Talk for You forum on the Facebook, then I'll probably post it in there. But y'all be looking out for the next show, which is next Saturday. Say that again.
You got a Debate Talk for You forum on Facebook?
Yeah, on Facebook. Yep. I'm friends with you. I'll send you the link through the messenger. It's a group. But yeah.
I probably not say that much because if I say one thing, they're gonna cry and they're not gonna respond back. They're gonna do that. They're gonna lie, slander, and make some stuff up. Wherever I go is trouble.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, anyway, you guys, man, it's been good. Like I said, we touched on a few points today. Defined backsliding. We talked about ways that influence people to backslide, or not even just deal with the word at all. We've also discussed a little bit of things on how to stay away from backsliding, which is, I'm gonna say it one more time: commune with like-minded people, who believe the same things, so that they can keep you strong in the faith whenever you get weak, as a strong body, right? Also prayer, prayer, fasting, we see those examples in the text as well, and then we also want to just stay focused, stay focused. Don't covet what you're not supposed to be coveting, and just stay in the word and just doing it. Yeah, all praises, Brother Shakora. We appreciate you for coming out, bro.
Sister Shakora.
Oh, Sister Shakora. I'm sorry, sis. I'm sorry.
Picture up there. She's not 50 Cent.
Oh, she got 50 Cent up there. Okay, I see.
But just let me say this. It's a show tonight on my channel.
Go ahead.
Which is Joseph Comeback 80 Israel Doctrine. But you go at Joseph Comeback Fair Use channel. It's at 6 o'clock. And I will be addressing haters, more slanderers, more liars, because that's what they doing. Since I've been fighting pedophile, everybody want to make me a pedophile and a child molester now.
Well, if you ain't no pedophile, no child molester, then it is
I
what
don't
it is.
worry about none of that. But my thing is, when they pop up saying that, you already know they the devil.
Hey, but look, Christ had way more haters than any of us could ever have combined, right?
I'm not
But
Christ. My name is Carl Albert Davis. My name is not Jesus of Nazareth.
but he's supposed to be our example, right? We supposed to walk after Christ, man. Come on, Carl.
I'm not Jesus the Christ. You don't recognize me as Jesus the
Yeah.
Christ. So
No, but I
if
mean, we gotta be like,
you as Jesus the Christ, you shouldn't have hated on him. And if I was him or example him, you shouldn't hate on me.
fair enough, man. Fair enough. You got any last words for the people, man, before I close it out?
No, just come over.
Hey, say your channel again one more time, man, and your
It
time
is
that you about to go
Joseph
live.
Comeback 80 at Joseph Comeback 80 fair use. That's you put the at Joseph Comeback 80 fair use. And then y'all can understand why this stuff is going on, because see, nobody wants to talk about the Zulu Nation and all the child trafficking and the see Polite, who has been by the brother in Malachi Z. York. Child molestation been going on in this community forever. Soon I started fighting it. Oh, he's a child molester. Oh
Yeah.
man, it's crazy.
Well, I pray that brother didn't do that stuff. I mean, it hasn't been proven yet, but if he did, then hopefully he repents,
Cum was
and
found on
make
the
amends. Huh?
cum was found. His cum was found on.
Well, okay, well, we ain't gonna really discuss that here because he we just have to wait until he's proven guilty.
All views and opinions are mine, not debate talk.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Thank you, sir. But we'll just wait until we get it rendering. But even if he did, man, we got to pray for that brother because I don't understand it, man. The brother's a really sharp brother, but he just uses a lot of his sharpness
The Bible
for
used to turn
for
to hell
wickedness.
with people.
Huh?
The Bible used to turn to hell with people.
Yeah. Yeah. Just could you imagine, like, if he was teaching truth, that brother would be powerful, man. But that's okay. It is what it is. God uses who he uses, and he destroys
Everybody
who he
chooses
destroys.
what they want. If they want to go
Yeah.
to hell, they chose it.
That's right.
I'm
Hey,
not gonna fight with you because the Lord will send you a strong delusion if you want to believe a lie. So
you
you
definitely
and he put you in hell. I'm not finna fight with the Lord over you.
you're definitely right about that, brother. You are definitely right about that. And what I will say is what you said earlier, man. I'm like Joshua, man. He said, "You for this day, you choose who you will serve. If it be God, it'll be God. If it not, then not. But as for me and my house,
Because
so
you
you,
gotta make a decision daily. And see, once you made the decisions I done made, because I done made some horrible decisions and some great decisions. Because my thing was never let anyone mislead me. I don't care who they are. If my mother and father couldn't mislead me, nobody else will. In doing that, I done lost plenty of people, but I just had a brother get murdered by some Hebrew Israelites because he probably started out listening to me, but he got introduced to them congregations and stuff that I used to deal with. Next thing I know, I see a picture of him on Facebook. He dead. What happened?
yeah,
One of the brothers he was hanging with killed him. What? Hanging with them Hebrew Israelites.
well, I wouldn't just put it on them because there's some righteous brothers that claim Hebrew Israelite. It's just a lot of wicked people in the world.
Like saying the Pope is a righteous brother.
Well, I mean, you got some Catholics that they do pretty well, but I mean they're misleaded and they're misguided. They believe a lie. But what I'm saying is, it's some wicked people
You're
and
a merciful brother.
it's
I
some okay people.
understand, but your mercy will get you killed.
Well, I mean, God willing, no.
It ain't no problem dying for righteousness and
Yeah,
being right. But
God willing, no.
your mercy and your righteousness and trying to do right by your brother, be your brother keeping your brother found, your life will get taken.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the prophets died, man. So they killed the Messiah. So I know that I'm not
And on that
oblivious to
too.
it.
But I think there's a scripture there was where David was like, somebody did, and somebody said, "Hey, he died like a fool."
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He
Yeah.
died
We can
like
say
a
that.
fool, And that's the New Testament say, I will not have you foolish.
It's a lot of people that die like fools, and in their foolishness as well. You know what I'm saying? But I don't wish no wrong on nobody. I always, if the prodigal son could come back, then guess what? They can too. So that's what I pray, man. I pray that we all wake up, and start walking this Torah life out. You know. But
Who?
yeah, you over there eating all over camera, man.
Like Torah or something?
Hey, sitting
Hey,
over there stuffing your face, man. Come on, Carl, man. No, I'm just catting off with you, man. But yeah, man, that's I'm gonna go ahead and close this thing out, man. This has been about an hour and 20 minutes. We've been going for a while. Like I said, next show we want to thank Carl for coming through. We touched on a little bit of the topic, which is okay, but next show, I don't know what exactly it's going to be. Hopefully, I'll have some guests that join me, and hopefully, some of you guys will come onto the panel as well and express some of the the thoughts that you guys have and participate in the conversation as well. But we want to thank everybody for coming out, Sister Shakura, you know, um, and everybody else who joined Bleedo. Um, I think that's the only ones. But yeah, thank everybody coming out and joining. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you guys will be informed on the next topics that we have. And like I said, this boardroom segment is not just going to be biblical. I mean, it's always going to have a biblical aspect because that's what I believe in. So we're always going to be like biblically centered, but we're going to also be discussing certain other topics as well. So I'd like to grant you peace, brother Carl. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom to the room. Everybody, y'all have a blessed, beloved Shabbat. And until next time, shalom.